Hi everybody. I know normally we talk about forms and contracts and things like that, but today I want to talk about something a little different. I want to talk about FHA loans. And I don't want to talk about it like we're a lender or anything. I want to talk about how it affects the transaction from the real estate side. So you'll hear people talk about the FHA appraisal being a problem. There is an issue with that. It does stick with the property for 90 days. So if it comes in low, the seller's kind of stuck with it. You'll also hear people say that they're more difficult, they're harder, and they come in lower. That has not absolutely been my experience. For the most part, they come in about the same value as you would expect. But sometimes they'll come in with some repairs that are required, and that is a little less normal. But what I really want to touch on today is the waiver of these appraisals. With FHA, the FHA rules and the FHA guidelines, which carry force of law to us, do not allow a borrower to lose their earnest money due to a low appraisal. It does not mean that they cannot add money to it in cash to make it work. Don't be fooled into thinking that FHA buyers don't have cash. They do, and quite often they have plenty of cash to make more than their 3.5% down payment. So don't let yourself get fooled into that. But what we're talking about is, let's say we have an offer in at $100,000, the appraisal comes in at $80,000, they've agreed to waive the appraisal. We're like, great, we've got this thing. No, we don't. They can cancel on the appraisal contingency, and they will still get their earnest money deposit back. And there's a couple things that do it. The FHA rule, which we as agents should know, and the FHA mandatory clause, which is required for every FHA loan to be processed. You're supposed to send those out with your offers at this point. Even if your seller has not signed the FHA mandatory clause, it still is in effect. It's not, as the attorneys told me, it's not contract language. It's more or less a disclosure that it is an FHA loan, and this is how FHA works it. So keep that in mind. VA is very similar. They have, it's called an escape clause, but it's very, very similar language, and it effectively works the same way. If you're a seller or listing agent and you're seeing offers come over from FHA and VA buyers, mostly FHA are what we're seeing this with, and they are waiving the appraisal or waiving a portion of the appraisal, or they're making their earnest money non-refundable with the additional clauses addendum, none of those are going to guarantee your seller their earnest money deposit at the end of the day if the appraisal comes in low. Just keep that in mind, and if you have questions on that, reach out to me. I would be more than happy to talk with you about it. And it will come and bite you. You'll be moving along and you'll think everything's fine, and then suddenly they're going to cancel, and you call the title company. The title company says, yeah, I'll send it to legal, and legal sends it right back to you saying they can't lose their earnest money. It's an FHA loan. And it's not that they can't lose their earnest money. They can't lose their earnest money because of a low appraisal. Just keep that in mind too. And technically any of the appraisal issues that would come up that are health and safety issues that have to be repaired first, those would also give them an out. So there are some repairs that could do it too. So if you have questions about this and you're a JK agent, you've got my number. Reach out and call me. If you don't work at JK, give me a call, 602-400-4376. I'd be more than happy to talk with you about it. Thank you.